Hello Year 11, welcome to the answers for week 7 of your Literature Recall Challenge. So your quotations for A Christmas Carol, who was speaking or being described? The first quotation, would you so soon put out with worldly hands the light I give? That was the ghost of Christmas past. And who's been described as yellow, meagre, ragged, scowling wolfish? That was of course ignorance and want. And then who was as dead as a doornail? It was Marley, and it was of course Scrooge speaking. Then the mistakes you had to fix in Inspector Calls. Sheila is accused of Eric as being squiffy. Of course that was the other way around. Eric is accused by Sheila as being squiffy. Second mistake, Gerald describes Eva as a miserable plain little creature. Sheila describes Eva as this in Millwoods, the shop where she has her fired. And then the stage lighting is hard and bright as the play begins. Of course, that is the second lighting. First of all, it's soft and pink and intimate, and then it becomes hard and bright when the inspector enters. And you can remember that as thinking of like an interrogation, that he turns the lights on to interrogate them. And the fourth mistake, Eric tells his parents, it frightened me the way you talk. And that of course is Sheila who says this. And then Eric admits he stole around £80. It was in fact £50, which was the money of course that he gave to Eva when he got her pregnant, which she refused. She didn't want to take any more money from him. And then the three adjectives to describe Paris, a little bit of a tricky with this one. We could describe him as handsome because he's described as a man of wax by the nurse. Welfare because he's thought to be a good match for Juliet because he's a Count Paris. And then courteous and noble. In fact, he is described as a courteous Paris. Noble Count Paris. Characters who are violent. Well, of course, we have Tybalt. We have Lord Capulet when his fingers itch. And we have Mercutio who fights Tybalt just before his death when he is offended because Romeo won't rise to Tybalt's challenge. And then offensive actions or comments made by Tybalt. We have right at the beginning, his first entrance, turn thee Benvolio and look upon thy death. Benvolio, whose name means peacekeeper. Act 1, Scene 5, when Romeo enters the ball. To strike him dead, I hold it not a sin. So he is deciding what is a sin and what is not. And then Romeo, the hate I bear thee can afford no better turn than this. Thou art a villain. To Romeo, of course, just before Romeo kills him. Locations outside of the family houses, not including the Montague and Capulet mansions. We have, of course, Mantua, where Benvolio is banished to. We have the public square, where all the fighting happens. And we have Friar Lawrence's cell, where Romeo runs to for help, of course. So well done if you got a few of those. If you haven't, use those as a target for your revision, and the questions for week 8 will be coming up shortly. Good luck.